And for Knoxville, Tennessee, the Rams of Grace Christian Academy. Number 5, Jackson Lustig. Number 10, Cody Dooley. Number 11, Bryce Hodge. Number 20, Bristow. Number 22, Ben Connor. Number 23, Jordan Crawley. And number 32, Karis Coffey. And now, let's meet your starting lineups. At guard for the Vikings, number 5, Jared Walker. At guard for the Rams, number 21, Ben Andrews. At guard for the Vikings, number 22, Carlton Childs. At guard for the Rams, number 33, CJ Gettlefinger. At guard for Humboldt, number 31, Cortland Martin. At forward for the Rams, number 35, Grant Ledford. At forward for the Vikings, number 45, Anthony Jones. At forward for Grace Christian Academy, number 41, Connor Arnold. At forward for the Vikings, number 52, Devontae Bennett. And at forward for the Rams, number 44, Baylor Yonker. The head coach for Humboldt is Ronald Abernathy. And the head coach for Grace Christian Academy is Mike Doig.
Grace Christian is assisted by Brandon Bass, Rob Hammond, Tom Holland, and Brandon Marable. Humboldt assisted by Marcus Butler, Charles Evans, Adrian Ingram, Antonio Lambert, and Steve Shivers. Grace Christian comes out in the white, trimmed in the gray and we'll call it kind of a navy blue, purplish kind of color. Humboldt coming out in the gold, yellow gold, and the cardinal red numerals, and Humboldt across the chest. Jumping it up for Humboldt, the Vikings, is Anthony Jones, and he jumps up against Yonker, and it's won by Yonker and Grace Christian. They'll go from right to left as we look on here at the Murphy Center. Game 1 in Class Single A. A lob pass down low is knocked away, intended for Connor Arnold. Driving the other way, layup is good on the baseline by Cortland Martin. Martin averages 15 points a game. Anthony Jones for Humboldt, 12.3. Jared Walker, 11.6. They're all three averaging double figures. Gettlefinger drives in the lane, dumps it off underneath, and the lob and finish is up and good for Grant Ledford, who averages 15 for Grace Christian. In the paint, driving shot, ball blocked out of there. Blocked by Yonker. Other way, here comes Grace Christian. Ball batted around, picked up on the left wing, and a three is up and in by Gettlefinger. He knocks down the three, and Grace has a 5-2 lead. A minute in, 7 points total. Grace on top of Humboldt, 5-2. This is the last year for Grace Christian participating in Division I. Driving a lane, a swing around pass. Walker intended for Bennett is intercepted, and here comes Grace Christian Academy. Gettlefinger drives in, spin, shot no good. It's a little bit short. Pass lob down the floor, intended for Childs, and he stepped on the sideline right here in front of us, and it'll go back to GCA. Yeah, next year the Rams will be in Division II. They'll join CAK, heading to Division II with Knoxville Webb, that East region. Boyd Buchanan, Chat Christian, Notre Dame, Silverdale Baptist. Very good group of teams in Division II. Other way, Humboldt driving the way, launched a layup up high off the backboard, got it over the big 6'8" Connor Arnold, and the layup falls for Jared Walker, and Humboldt is on the board again. 5-4, Grace Christian Academy on top. Down the floor, Gettlefinger weaves it off for Ledford. Ledford drives in the paint, draws a foul, some contact, and it'll be on the floor. Grace Christian will inbound. First foul of our ballgame. Lots of fouls in that last contest. Total fouls, all 22 and 19. So you had 41 fouls in the last one. It is going to be a shooting foul, so free throws for Grant Ledford, the 6'4 sophomore guard, averaging 15 a game. He's an 81% foul shooter, but he misses the first. Second, up and good. The Vikings rode to Murfreesboro. They beat West Carroll 71-39. Peabody 57-40-30 in the region. And Halls 89-45. They had to have overtime with Middleton from Hardeman County in West Tennessee to get here. Shot no good. Rebound underneath by Bennett. His putback is no good for Humboldt. Other way comes Gettelfinger of Grace Christian. He lays it up and in. Excuse me, that's Ledford. And he will head to the line for a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play as Grace takes an 8-4 lead. Ledford heads to the line, the 81% foul shooter. Ledford 1 for 2 at the line so far as he makes that one and completes the three-point play. 9-4, Grace Christian on top. 5:39 to play first quarter. For Grace Christian, they knocked off Oakdale 79-41, Wartburg 86-66. Harriman, who will play the last game against Memphis Mitchell, 76-63. They actually lost to Harriman in the region championship. Free throw line shot by Jones for Humboldt, no good. Got his own miss, puts it up and in. So the sophomore 6'5 forward Anthony Jones with his first bucket. Humboldt trails by 3, 9-6. In the sectional, they beat Hampton by 1, 64-63. Ledford fires a three from the left wing for Grace Christian. It's off the mark. Ball goes down to the floor and it's picked up by Cortland Martin for Humboldt. Here come the mustard-colored Humboldt Vikings, those mustard uniforms. As a shot from the right side, three no good by Martin. Grace Christian quickly the other way. Shot no good. Arnold with the putback. Connor Arnold, he's a 6'7" listed forward and a senior. Here's a steal. Gettelfinger brings it down. Lefty pull-up three is a little bit too strong, and it will graze off the side of the rim and go out of bounds. With Grace on top, 11-6. Humboldt, the Vikings will have the ball. Now, they sub quite a bit. They play 10 and really don't miss a beat. As Justin Pankey comes out the bench, a 6'3 junior forward who averages 15 points a game. He's their super sixth man. Jared Walker, the 5'7 senior point guard, calls a play as he's guarded out front by Andrews at the top of the key. Gives it right side for Martin. Martin starts to drive, behind the back dribble, spins in the lane, elevates, passes down low, shot rejected underneath. Jones' shot rejected by Yonker. Here comes Grace Christian. Gettelfinger dumps it off underneath, shot blocked underneath of Arnold by Humboldt. Elevating at that time for the block was Childs. Other way, Humboldt, ball tapped out of bounds from behind of Jones, but will stay with the Vikings. So both these teams, heralded seasons for both. Humboldt just the one loss, and they were tested. They went into Memphis, played some AAA teams out of Memphis, Memphis Central, Cordova, who was in the finals last year against Memphis East, lost to Penny Hardaway's club. Other way, Grace Christian penetrates, ball knocked out of the lane though. Other way, driving layup is no good by Walker. And Grace Christian comes away with it. Humboldt, 3 of 11 from the floor to start, 27%. Grace, 4 for their first 8, as both teams try to knock off a little bit of rust. Right wing three on the way is off the front of the iron, no good by Ledford. Second chance underneath by Arnold won't fall. And the rebound comes down to the Vikings. Pankey with his first rebound for Humboldt. Vikings, 3 state titles. They went 44-0 back in 1949. Pass underneath from Walker. Was picked up by Pankey, but he traveled with it before his shot would fall. And the turnover gives it back to the Rams from Grace Christian. Turnover number 3 for Humboldt. Grace has turned it over so far twice. 1949, 44-0. For the Humboldt Vikings. 1976, they won the title at 34-2. As quickly down the floor into the paint with penetration goes Gettelfinger. He draws contact, and he will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. And they won the title in 2013, going 29-6. They were runner-up in 1981. They've appeared in 7 of the last 12 state basketball tournaments. Have the Vikings. First free throw by Gettelfinger is good. 4 points for CJ. Averages 13 a game, a 76% free throw shooter, and he makes both free throws. His dad was a part of a national title team at the University of Kentucky. Wasn't a huge main contributor on that team, but still, what a experience that was. And for Coach Rupp. 13-6, Grace on top by 7. Bounce pass underneath from Martin, trying to feed it down low to the post, and the ball is deflected and then tied up underneath. This Rams team, a lot of size in their starting lineup. Baylor Yonker, the junior center, is at 6'8". Connor Arnold, 6'7". Forward, Grant Ledford, who steps outside, really plays a guard, 6'4". Then 5'11", your point guard, and Andrews, 6'3", Gettelfinger, as your shooting guard. Definitely have the size advantage. Dribbling inside is Abernathy for Humboldt, who just checked in, and he's called for steps. Traveling violation. Gives it right back to Grace Christian. That's turnover number 4 for Humboldt. For Grace Christian, they have 3 averaging double figures. Gettelfinger 13.2, Ledford 15.1, and Arnold down low, averaging 18 and 7 a game. On the baseline, Gettelfinger drives in. Did he step on the baseline? No, he traveled with it. And that gives it right back to the Vikings. Got out to a quick start now with 2:13 to play in the first. Things have calmed down a little bit. We've seen 7 turnovers combined. The third there for Grace Christian. And Humboldt with it. Jared Walker, the 5'7" point guard, sends it left side. 3 on the way is good by Cortland Martin. Knocks down the 3. Other way in a hurry. Driving layup, no good. Underneath, they battle for the rebound. And the ball tapped out. It'll go back to Humboldt. So the Vikings, with that 3 by Cortland Martin, cut the lead to 4. Martin has 5. Lead Humboldt so far. Gettelfinger has 5 for Grace Christian. 1:45 to play first quarter. Lob pass goes inside. They battle in the post, and a foul going to be called underneath. Looks like they're going to get to number 22 for Grace Christian, Benjamin Connor. 6'5" forward, the senior. How about off the bench you bring in Benjamin Connor, who's 6'5". You also have Jordan Crawley, who's 6'6" on the bench as well. Driving floater is no good by Walker. Underneath, an offensive rebound, and the putback by Joshua Glenn is blocked, but he also drew a foul. And another one of the super subs on this Humboldt team. He'll be rewarded with some free throws here. Joshua Glenn, the 5'11" junior forward, averaging 5 points a game. They have 3 off the bench that average at least 5 points for head coach Ron Abernathy. First free throw no good by Joshua Glenn. And they play 10. Baylor Yonker, spelled Younker, the 6'8" junior, back off the bench for Grace Christian and head coach Mike Doig. Second free throw, a line drive shot is good by Joshua Glenn. He's in the scoring column now. More substitutions. Grant Ledford back off the bench for Grace Christian. 1:33 to play first quarter. Grace on top of Humboldt, 13-10. Winner of this contest gets the winner of the next game, Clay County and Loretto. On the baseline with the basketball, Andrews. Andrews finds a lane, drives in. He draws contact from Pankey of Humboldt. Pankey commits the foul, and heading to the line is the point guard, Benjamin Andrews for Grace. Just your prototypical engine that runs things for the Rams. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 90% free throw shooter, and he makes the first. We've had subs about every whistle. Anthony Jones One of the starters checks back in for Humboldt. 1:21 to play, first quarter. Grace by 4, 14-10. They've led the entire way. Second free throw, no good. We have a lane violation on the shooter. None of the other Rams were on the foul line. He tried to jump up, grab the rebound, and went over the charity stripe a little bit too soon. Jared Walker guarded by Andrews as he walks it across the timeline. That's the MT logo. Bounce pass goes into the corner. Nice pump fake. Step in. Long two on the way is no good by Martin. Rebound comes down to Grace. Approaching the 1 minute mark. Hesitation move. Ledford into the corner. Ball deflected out of bounds as he was looking for Connor Arnold in the corner. Nice hands there by Humboldt's Abernathy to poke it away. Both teams struggling shooting so far. Both teams locking down defensively. In the corner, Arnold. Lob pass goes underneath. Shot from underneath is deflected away, but a foul called. That is Connor Arnold underneath, taking the pass from Yonker. And the 6'7" Connor Arnold, who is their leading scorer, heads to the foul line. Arnold held scoreless so far, 0 of 2 from the field. First free throw attempt is up and good. Arnold averaging 18 points, 7 rebounds. He's averaging 18.4 in the postseason. Connor Arnold's second free throw is good. He is a step-out three-point shooter as well, a 50% three-point shooter, 76 for 151. In the postseason, Arnold is shooting 57% from three, 56% overall, so better from behind the arc. Makes both. 16-10 Grace. Other way we go. Walker drives in to the free throw line. It goes to Glenn. Back out front, Abernathy. They reset things as Cortland Martin works a bounce pass back to Jared Walker, the 5'7" point guard. Inside of 30 seconds to play first quarter. Martin near side. Pump fakes back out front to Walker. They're going to settle for the last shot of the first quarter. Left side, now back to the free throw line. Glenn drives in, lays it up, rattles all the way around, won't fall. Got his own miss. The ball is rejected. The second attempt by Yonker. And here comes Grace with 3 seconds. Under pressure, midcourt shot at the buzzer. No! From Gettelfinger, and we played one quarter. After one, East Tennessee versus West Tennessee. Grace Christian 16, Humboldt 10. More from the Murphy Center after this 60-second station break on the TSSAA network.
To be spare day players.
1 quarter in the books in our first Class A quarterfinal. We this year go AAA, AA, single A. And the first of 4 now single A quarterfinals. We start stanza number 2. Grace Christian with the basketball. A quick steal by Humboldt as the Vikings and Abernathy bring it down the floor. Walker, bounce pass, goes into the corner. 3 on the way from the baseline. No good by Martin. Offensive rebound. Putback is good underneath. And the putback by Bennett. As the big post man, 6'4" senior center, knocks it down, and another turnover here by Grace Christian. We'll give it right back to the Vikings. Humboldt trailing by 4, 16-12. As Grace led for the entirety in that first quarter. Humboldt a chance to cut it to 2 or even 1. In the corner, open 3 on the way is no good, but a travel. Somehow Abernathy shuffled his feet before really having a wide open look off that inbounds pass. As a ball deflected out of bounds by Abernathy as they apply this full court pressure. First quarter, Humboldt shot 26%, 5 for 19. Grace 36%, 4 for 11. 1 of 4 from 3 is Humboldt. 1 of 2 is Grace Christian. Spinning around pressure, Ledford drives in the paint. And a little out of control and a whistle. And they call a foul on Humboldt, I believe they did. And heading to the line, this will actually be C.J. Gettelfinger. Now will head to the free throw line. It was blazes flying, heading into that painted area. Free throw from the lefty is too strong. Gettelfinger, in the ball game so far, 5 points. He's now 2 of 3 at the line. 76% free throw shooter on the season, averaging 13 points a game. And the second free throw is off as well. 16-12 Grace driving into the paint. Dump pass goes underneath to the right block, and a whistle and a traveling violation call. Good defense underneath from Grace. Amongst the towers down there, Anthony Jones went up, came back down with the basketball, and turns it back over to the Rams. Approaching the 1 minute mark into this second quarter, 7:08 to play in the first half, and a foul and a hand check foul going to be called as Ledford was bringing it down. And Ronald Abernathy called for the hand check foul. That's his first, the team's seventh, and so that will send the Rams of Grace Christian into the bonus and send Ledford to the line, an 81% free throw shooter. Ledford 2 of 3 so far today, make it 3 of 4. He's got 7 points. The 6'4" sophomore guard. They lead by 5, make it 6 as he swishes the second. As a team from the free throw line, Grace has already attempted 12 free throws. They're 9 for 12. So half of their points coming from the charity stripe. Baseline 2-point long 2-point jumper is no good by Martin. Here comes Grace the other way. Nice pass, a dish to Arnold, and he finishes it. 20-12, Grace by 8. That was a nice behind-the-back pass. And Arnold right there to receive it. 2-1-2 zone defense here for Grace Christian. Humboldt gets it inside the painted area. But a whistle and a double dribble going to be called against Jones. This defense giving Humboldt a lot of problems right now. It's turnover number 7 against the Vikings. They apply a 1-1-2-1. Looks like backcourt pressure. Ledford lobs underneath, and Yonker lays it up and in off the alley-oop. Yonker, the 6'8" junior center, gives Grace a 10-point lead now, 22-12. Lob pass underneath, deflected by Yonker and picked up by Ledford. Another steal. Here comes Grace Christian the other way, driving baseline. Ettelfinger now back to Ledford as he picks up a deflection in the paint. Did he step on the baseline? No, he is fouled by a Humboldt Viking. Oh, excuse me, they're going to call a player control foul. And a hook on Ledford. He said he hooked it with that arm. So Ledford called for the foul, his first, the third team foul against the Rams. 2 minutes into the second quarter, 6 minutes to play in the first half. Humboldt with the basketball, and they trail by 10. Jared Walker walks it across, dribbles right side, draws a double team. Bounce pass goes to Jones. Jones, his shot from up close isn't good. And the ball is tapped out of bounds. It will stay here with the Vikings. Substitution for the Rams. As checking into the ball game is Crawley, 6'6" sophomore. More height coming off that bench as they pressure the entry, and it's tapped back out of bounds by Grace. Stays with the Vikings. They'll switch sides of the basket to Trigger. Comes into the corner. Pump fake by Cortland Martin. Works it back up to the top of the key. Yo-yo dribble here by Jared Walker. Dribbles off a screen to the right side, and he loses his footing in a 5-second call against Walker. Good defense that time as Crawley, coming off the bench, forces a Humboldt turnover, which is their 9th. Grace outscored Humboldt 16-10 in that first quarter. They lead it 6-2 so far here in the second. Dump pass underneath for Yonker. The 6'8" postman going to work as he puts it up and in off the glass, and a whistle and a timeout called by Humboldt as Grace has now doubled up the Vikings. It's 24-12. A 30-second timeout called by head coach Ron Abernathy. Wilson Sporting Goods provides the official game ball for the TSSAA Championships. Backed by generations of athletes, Wilson is the true American icon in the world of sports equipment. Wilson, proud supporter of these TSSAA Championships. Those basketballs look fantastic, by the way. Brand new, perfect leather, nothing like a brand new baseball or a brand new basketball. 24-12. NCAA tournament getting started today. Virginia in a tight one with North Carolina Wilmington. They're only up by 5 with 3:48 to go. Gonzaga trailing South Dakota State. Speaking of a nice shot, as South Dakota State made a few so far. A 3-point basket up and good by Humboldt's Jared Walker. 3-point bucket brings the lead back under 10-9. Pressure in the far corner is Grace Christian. Working around the perimeter now. Goes Yonker. Baseline drive and a whistle and a blocking foul called against Humboldt. Gonzaga trails by 3, 22-19. Butler all over Winthrop, 41-27 at the half. Notre Dame hangs on and did not become the 5 to fall to a 12. Notre Dame over Princeton, 60-58. 21, front end, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Vikings of Humboldt. They trail by 9, 24-15, 4:42 to go in the half. Driving inside, high arching layup. Kiss is off the glass by Carlton Childs, a 5'9 senior. And the Vikings have scored 5 in a row. They're within 7, 24-17. Pass goes into the corner. 3 on the way is a little deflected. It comes way short. And the ball hits the baseline and will go back to Humboldt. Underneath Connor Arnold. Couldn't quite get his hands on the basketball. Middle Tennessee State, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raider men will play at 3 o'clock as they take on the Golden Gophers. Minnesota, that game starts at 3 o'clock. 24-17, Grace on top. Halfway more portion of this second quarter. 3-point shot from the baseline is no good. Offensive rebound underneath by Bennett, and he has it deflected out of bounds, but it was last touched by Bennett. 6'4" center for Humboldt. And the Rams of Grace Christian will have it, leading by 7. Semifinal Friday tomorrow here at the Murphy Center. 6 games. Make sure to follow the action. Follow them on Twitter at TSSAA. Here's a steal by Humboldt. Driving in. Layup is good. It's Childs. And Childs cuts the deficit to 5. A 7-0 run now for Humboldt has blocked them back into this ballgame. Grace Christian sets their offense. Pass goes in left corner. Now back left wing. This is Ledford. Ledford isolated on this near side. Pass back up top goes to Gettelfinger. On the free throw line, Connor back to Gettelfinger, who's been quiet here in the second quarter. And a nice first quarter. 5 points on 1 of 3 shooting. Here's Connor to the left baseline. Bounce pass goes back to Gettelfinger, and he picks it up, lays it up and in. Excuse me, that was Ledford. Ledford takes the nice feed. May have been a travel involved in that play, but no call. 26-19, Grace on top by 7 as they stop the Humboldt run. Martin looks to the free throw line. Childs kicks it back out. 2 waiting at the scores table for Grace Christian to check in at the next whistle. One of those is the big 6'8" Baylor Yonker. Lob pass, free throw line to Bennett. Back outside for Walker. Triggers a 3. It's deflected, and it comes up way short. Down the floor in a hurry. Pass stolen away by Humboldt. Intercepting the pass was Walker. Here comes Walker into front court. Nice move in the lane. Good dump off, and a layup is good by Bennett. With the assist from Walker. That's his 3rd assist of the ball game. Bennett has 4. Other side we go. Arnold drives in, lost his footing and the handle. Here comes a 3-on-1 break for Humboldt. Lob pass, layup is good. He tried for the dunk, but he'll take the finish. Anthony Jones with the assist from Cortland Martin, and Humboldt is within 3 now at 26-23. So the Vikings have come from 12 down to make it a 3-point game with 1:50 to play here in the first half. Action Picks TN is the official photographer of the TSSAA. Hit the web after the game to browse all the photos and get your own special piece of history. That's Action Picks TN online at actionpixtn.com. Well, 1:50 to play here in the first half. Game's coming up. Clay County and Loretto is next at 2:45. Van Buren, Columbia Academy at 4:30. And then Harriman Mitchell at 6 o'clock. Harriman knocked off this Knoxville Grace team in the region finals. Grace Christian showing well so far. Here's a lob pass underneath for Arnold. He has his shot blocked by Bennett. Here comes Humboldt down the floor, 3-on-3 with the basketball. Walker gives it up to Jones, and he gets the one-handed hammer. It's a one-point game, 26-25. That brought the house down. Whew. Gettelfinger dribbles in, left-handed floater is no good in the paint. Here come the Vikings. Right side, Martin drives to the baseline. Picks up the dribble. Works it back out front, though. Slow it down with a minute to play now here in the first half. Anthony Jones with a rim rocker, a one-handed slam. Skip pass goes far side, Martin. Martin looking down low, now brings it back to the outside, and the ball off of his foot. He tried to dive after it, goes out of bounds, and gives it right back to Grace with 48 seconds remaining. Humboldt outscoring Grace 15-10 here in the second quarter. They've never led in this ballgame. They've been tied once, and that lasted only 12 seconds. Looking at the numbers, Humboldt shooting just 38%, Grace 44%. Humboldt 11 turnovers, Grace 9 as they pressure the inbound and press full court. Dribbling other way, Ledford, a floater up and good. Ledford restores order. He's been the man to restore order most of the time so far. He's in double figures, the only scorer there. He has 12 on a perfect 4 of 4 shooting. The difference coming at the free throw line. Grace shooting 13 free throws to Humboldt's 2. 28-25, Grace by 3. Humboldt going to settle for the last shot. Well, maybe not. Martin fires a 3. Rebound put back up and good with one hand by Bennett. Bennett right there, Johnny on the spot. 9 seconds to play, 28-27. Long 3, way off the mark by Ledford. Rebound Humboldt, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Walker at the buzzer in the corner, 3 on the way. Good, did it count? Yes! The 3 is good by Cortland Martin. I was wondering, why did Walker pass it? There wasn't enough time, but the officials say it counts. No replay review, and Humboldt will enjoy their first and only lead of the game as they take it to the locker room, leading Grace Christian 30-28. What a quarter for the Vikings as they outscore the Rams 20-12. Coming up next, Blue Cross basketball at the half. We'll run down the first half stats and plenty more after this 2-minute station break on the TSSAA network.
To beef.
Hey, I'm gonna.
Are brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, proud corporate sponsor of the TSSAA. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to find a sober ride home, booze it, and lose it. And by Regions Bank. Regions, it's time to expect more.
I go like this.
Hard because you get
At the half here in this first Class A quarterfinal at the Murphy Center, it's the Humboldt Vikings with their first and only lead of the half at 30-28 over Grace Christian Academy of Knoxville. As we take a look at some first half stats, starting team-wise for Humboldt, the Vikings were 13 of 32 from the floor, shooting 41%, 3 of 9 from three-point range, and 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. For Knoxville Grace, they were 9 of 20 from the field, 45%, 1 of 4 from 3, and they were 9 of 13 from the free throw line. Rebounding battle, and during our break, Steve mentioned to me, and it is amazing, outsizing Humboldt by a large amount. The Humboldt Vikings out-rebounding Grace 20-12, and that mark turnover battle is right now being won by Knoxville Grace. 9 turnovers, 11 turnovers for Humboldt. Leading scorer for Humboldt is a tie, actually. Cortland Martin and Anthony Jones both have 5 points, 5 assists for Jared Walker. Leading the way for Knoxville Grace, Grant Ledford, 12 points and 5 rebounds. The start of the second half is coming up right after this.
Now you can create your own tour of Italy from Alfredo. Is the one.
This game, Under Armour.
To overcome your coach.
Second half action, Humboldt with the basketball. They lead it by 2. A 3 from the corner is no good from Cortland Martin, and the rebound comes down to Grace Christian. Grace trailing by 2, 30-28 in this first Class A quarterfinal matchup. Ledford gives a bounce pass down low, intended for Yonker, and it's intercepted by the Vikings. Other way comes Walker. Walker dribbles inside, bounce pass underneath for Bennett. Left-handed layup, no good. Rebound pulled down by Yonker for Grace Christian. Here comes Ledford into the front court. Ledford looks to the baseline. Arnold triggers a long 2. It's no good, out the back iron. Here comes Humboldt. Without numbers, it's Martin. Martin picks it up and gives it out to his point guard, Jared Walker. Well, the Vikings only shot 37% in the first half, but they lead it by 2, and an offensive foul going to be called against Walker, who lost the basketball to C.J. Gettelfinger. And as commit the turnover, he immediately commits the foul. And Humboldt gives it back to Grace Christian. Walking it across his Gettelfinger here, CJ, the 6'3" sophomore point guard, a pretty young team. Of course, the great size, 6'8", 6'7", 6'4", 6'3", 6'3" in their starting lineup. Yonker, who's 6'8", gives it up to Gettelfinger to the free throw line. A floater off the backboard, no good, way too strong, and then Gettelfinger commits a foul. Going after the loose ball rebound as he hits Jared Walker of Humboldt in the back. So 6:38 to play third quarter. Nothing happening so far in this quarter. 30-28. Winner gets Clay County, or the winner of Clay County and Loretto tomorrow in the semifinal at 4:30 here at the Murphy Athletic Center. At the top of the circle, this is Anthony Jones, who had a really nice one-handed hammer dunk in the first half. Right side, 3 on the way is good by Carlton Childs. The 5'9" senior. Long pass down the floor is too hot for Benjamin Andrews. And Grace gives it right back to Humboldt. And immediately, Mike Doig wants a 30-second timeout with this team trailing now 33-28. Regions Bank is committed to growing communities and helping customers reach their financial goals. Regions Bank is proud to be the official bank partner of the TSSAA Regions. It's time to expect more. Chris Harris with you from here at the Murphy Center. Steve Ulray, our producer engineer, quarterback to my left. Good crowd here for this Thursday. The bowl is, I would say, 75% full. And the bleachers are starting to fill up on the end zones and the corners. We'll have a women's NIT game tonight between Middle Tennessee and Morehead State. Now a new producer engineer to my left, some guy named Bradley Lambert. 33-28, Humboldt leads by 5. Pass goes into the far corner to Martin. Martin dribbles into the lane. Lob pass underneath the nobody. And no man's land as Penke was the intended recipient. And he could not handle it. A little sloppy here to start the second half on both sides. But Humboldt leads it by 5. In the first half of the first 16 minutes, Grace led 15 minutes and 47 seconds. So all but 13 seconds they led in that first half. 3 at the buzzer for Humboldt gave them the lead. Driving the lane, Ledford draws some contact, floats, and puts it up and in. Grace on the board here in the second half as they draw within 3 now, 33-30. Martin, bounce pass goes underneath and a whistle, and a traveling violation will be called against the 35. That's Justin Penke. 33-30, Humboldt by 3. Humboldt still not at 40% shooting. At 39%, but yet they lead by 3. Other way, Gettelfinger starts to drive, and now a whistle and a foul called against the Vikings. This foul will be charged on Cortland Martin. Vikings, one of the favorites in this tournament, if not the favorite, of course, a 31-1 record. Grace Christian with the basketball. Arnold steps out, shoots a 3. He's good from out there, the 6'7" senior. It's a miss off the right side. Rebound by Ledford. He has it swatted away by Anthony Jones. He volleyball spiked that basketball out of bounds. Emphatically. Lob pass goes out front. Top of the circle. Andrews. Andrews gives it off left wing. Driving the baseline. This is Gettelfinger into traffic amongst the trees. He had it knocked away from him, and Humboldt comes away with the basketball. Here comes Walker into front court. 5-minute mark here in the third quarter. Is it right wing Martin? Bounce pass goes into the post. Nice move by Jones. Puts it up, but way too strong. Rebound by Penke. He saves it in. The shot from in close by Childs won't fall. And here comes Grace Christian. Into front court, Ledford. Into the paint. Floater. No good, but a whistle and a foul call before the shot. The lone loss for Humboldt was back on December the 27th. That was against the Poplar Bluff Mules from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. The Mules. Tyler Hansbrough, famous alumnus of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Long 3 attempt, top of the circle is good by Gettelfinger. Gettelfinger averaging 13 a game. Gettelfinger now with 8 on 2 of 6 shooting. He's 2 of 2, though, from behind the three-point line so far today on the season. 31% three-point shooter. Lob pass underneath is intended for Jones. It was off his fingertips, picked up by Grace Christian the other way. Driving layup is no good. But heading to the free throw line to shoot a pair will be Gettelfinger. It was quickly out in transition after the takeaway. Tie game, 33-33. Grace can go back on top here with 4:11 to play in the third quarter. 4:11 to play, third quarter. Free throw up and good by CJ. He's got 9. Ledford in double figures. He's the only Grace Christian player in double figures. Only for either side in double figures. He has 14. And Gettelfinger makes the pair. On the season, a 76% free throw shooter. 4 minutes to play, third quarter. 35-33 Grace. Bounce pass goes underneath. Good ball movement. Shot up and good. Count it! And the foul for Justin Penke. 6'3" junior forward. Chance for that three-point play the old-fashioned way. Penke in the ball game. That's his first 2. He has 3 rebounds. Bennett. Devontae Bennett, the senior forward, has 7 rebounds to lead the way for Humboldt. Left-hander fires the free throw but can't complete the three-point play. Offensive rebound underneath was by Childs. His putback wouldn't fall, but a third opportunity here, this time by Pankey, and he's fouled. So Pankey again will find himself back at the free throw line as Humboldt still controlling the boards despite the height disadvantage. Left-handed free throw up and good. He'll have another. That's just the fourth free throw attempted by Humboldt. They're 2 of 4. Rebounding battle, 26-17 in favor of Humboldt. 13 offensive rebounds, 2 on that possession. Second free throw good. Humboldt back up by 2, 37-35. They scored the last 4. Ledford into front court. Free throw line, lob underneath for Yonker. Yonker goes up to get it, then had it stripped away and off of his knee and out of bounds. So Grace gives it back to Humboldt with 3:35 to play in the third quarter. Across the timeline, Jared Walker, guarded by the much taller Gettelfinger, up to the top of the circle. 3 on the way by Childs is good. Childs with his second 3. He now is in double figures. The first for Humboldt. He has 10. Ledford the other way in a hurry. Gettelfinger right side. Left-hander 3 on the way. Out the front iron, no good. Good look. He just missed it. Offensive rebound. Put back up and good. Count it, and the foul for Grace Christian. As heading to the line will be Jordan Crawley to try and complete a three-point play as they pull back within 3 at 40-37. 3:07 to play in the third. Free throw is off the front iron, so he can't complete it. Rebound Humboldt. Vikings by 3 with the basketball. They go against this zone defense now. Looks like a box and 1 with Childs being the 1. Dribble left side for Walker. Lob pass underneath for Bennett. His layup is good. So, maybe not Bennett, that was Pankey with the bucket. Lead is 5. Pankey and Bennett have really controlled the post so far, despite being a little bit shorter than the opposition. Baseline jumper is no good off of Abernathy's hand, and a rebound pulled down by Humboldt. Here come the Vikings, and a foul as Walker brings it across the timeline. Reach-in foul going to be called against the Rams. We're going to get to Grace Christian for their 4th team foul. As Gettelfinger commits his second. He has 2. Nobody in foul trouble necessarily. Walker for Humboldt has 3. Closest of anybody to being in foul trouble here late in the third quarter. 42-37. Humboldt with the ball up by 5. Pankey tries to pass it across the block, and it's stolen. Here comes the other way. Crawley. He has his shot blocked at the rim. Blocked at the rim by Walker. Here comes Walker down the far side. Drives in the paint. Dishes it off to Pankey, and he lays it up and in. Lead is 7 now for the Vikings. Here comes Arnold. Arnold gives up top for Ledford. Ledford drives in, travels. Oh, no, excuse me, a block. So before the extra steps, a block is called. That'll be team foul number 6 against Humboldt as they get with that foul, number 22, Carlton Childs. Head coach Ron Abernathy voicing his displeasure. Bounce pass underneath. Arnold, nice move. He lays it up and in. Easy. Nice little drop step and move for Arnold, who's their leading scorer. Arnold averaging 18 points a game. And Arnold has 6 points in this one on 2 of 7 shooting. 0 for 2 from behind the three-point line. Right side on the baseline, this is Childs to the free throw line. Pankey dumps it off underneath. Up and under shot, no good by Glenn. And rebound pulled down by Grace Christian. As we near the 1-minute mark here in the third quarter, Humboldt by 5, 44-39. Top of the circle, driving in Ledford. Ledford allowed to penetrate. He's fouled as he goes to the rim. Puts it up and in, counted in the foul. So Ledford really taking it amongst himself right now to try and keep Grace in this ball game. And he's doing the job pretty well. 16 points now for Ledford. And he makes the free throw. He's now 5 of 7 from the line. He's got 17 of Grace Christian's 42 points. The only other Ram in double figures is Gettelfinger, who has 10. Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Humboldt with the basketball. Bounce pass goes underneath Pankey. Across the block. Little tip pass to Glenn is intercepted by Grace Christian. They trail by 2. Chance to tie or take the lead. Driving baseline. Ball knocked away on a drive that time by 22 Connor, as Connor lost it other way quickly in a hurry. Humboldt gets a bucket in transition and a foul call. But a timeout called, a technical called against Grace Christian. So I think head coach Mike Doig wanted a foul on that takeaway on his side, and a technical foul has been called against the head coach from Grace Christian. He's entertaining to watch on that sideline. He is a passionate head coach. You can tell by looking at him over there. Jared Walker at the free throw line to shoot the technical free throws. And the first free throw is no good. Abernathy with the layup, and he was fouled on the play. So Abernathy made it 46-42. He'll have one free throw to complete a three-point play after the technical free throws are shot by Walker. A 70% free throw shooter on the season. He missed the first. Now the second is good. Sometimes it's tough when you have to shoot those technical free throws. Nobody's on the lane. It's just you and an open-air gym behind you. 47-42, Humboldt by 5. They're actually going to take it out, so they counted the bucket, but it wasn't a three-point play. The whistle was not because of a foul, but because of that technical. So Humboldt by 5, 30 seconds to play, third quarter. Walker controls the dribble, guarded out front by Andrews. Gets a screen. Now asks for another screen, this time from Jones. Jones just chasing Andrews around trying to get a screen on him with 15 seconds now. On a play is Walker. Now gets a screen and a lot of contact there finally as Andrews just powered his way through that screen from Jones. And the foul is called. So Andrews commits his first. That's 16 fouls. Both teams now from here on out in the bonus. Lob pass with 10 seconds. Goes back into backcourt to Walker. Brings it to the front court with 5 seconds. Guarded by Andrews out there. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Into the corner. 3 on the way by Childs. Is off the side of the rim. No good. And that ends the third quarter of play. Humboldt outscores Grace 17-14 in the quarter. And they take a 5-point lead, 47-42 into the fourth. More from the Murphy Center after the 60-second station break on the TSSAA network.
Things are going really well. That's great.
Hey, Pete.
Three quarters in the books in this first of 4 Class A quarterfinals. Grace Christian has the ball, trailing Humboldt 47-42. Grace Christian from Knoxville, Humboldt from West Tennessee, rural West Tennessee, just outside of Jackson, a little north of Jackson. 47-42, Humboldt by 5. Grace Christian, they led for most of the first half. Arnold, right side, 3 on the way. His shot has just been a little bit off today as he misses a 3. It hits off the bottom of the net, goes out of bounds, and Humboldt will have it. Humboldt shooting 41% from the floor. Grace 42%. Humboldt 5 of 13 from 3. Grace, a good three-point shooting team, just 2 of 8. Penetrating the lane this time is Walker. A floater is no good, but a foul called underneath against the Vikings of Humboldt. Humboldt at the free throw line, 4 of 7. Grace Christian 12 of 17. Still Humboldt controlling the glass, 29-22 over a much taller Grace Christian squad. Also have 12 assists. You always look at that stat, 12 assists on 19 made baskets for the Vikings. Bonus time for Grace Christian, and at the line, Connor Arnold. The first one rattled down, came out, then went right back in. Circumnavigated the rim. Second free throw slices the net, and the 78% free throw shooter makes them both. Arnold has 8 and is 4 of 4 from the line, 2 of 8 shooting. 7:12 to play, fourth quarter. Walker walks it into front court, gets a screen, top of the key from Penke. Bounce pass down low, and no one's there to receive it. Goes out of bounds, and a turnover gives it back to Grace Christian. Winner gets the winner of our next game, which is Clay County, who is 30-4 on the season. They take on Loretto, 23-8. Pressure applied backcourt. Crawley gives it to Andrews. Lob pass underneath from Yonker inside to Arnold, and Arnold had it knocked away from him, but it was last touched by Arnold. Good defense down low, and the Vikings get it back, leading 47-44. Humboldt trailed by all but 13 seconds of that first half. A 3 at the buzzer by Cortland Martin gave them their first lead at 30-28 at halftime. Pass goes down low, and a deflection and a reach-in foul going to be called against 44 Yonker, Baylor Yonker, the 6'8 junior. Yonker spelled Younker. Free throw on the way is rimming and good for Justin Penke. He's had a nice game off the bench. Averages 15 points as the Super Sixth man for head coach Ron Abernathy. As Penke made the first free throw in the ball game so far, he has 9 points, 5 rebounds, and he misses the second, so he splits the pair. Humboldt leads it by 4, 48-44. Our last game was the final game in the AA bracket of the quarterfinal round, won by Maplewood as they knocked out Sullivan East 71-55. Underneath, Yonker lost the handle on it. Rebound by Arnold. He puts it up and in. Counted in the foul as the two Twin Towers down low going to work. Yonker at 6'8". Couldn't get it to go, but right there was Connor Arnold, who's 6'7", and he puts it up and in. He's in double figures now with 10 points on 3 of 9 shooting. He has 10 points, 5 rebounds in 25 minutes, and he knocks down the free throw to complete the three-point play, and it's a 1-point game, 48-47. As we approach the 6-minute mark here in this fourth quarter. Single A quarterfinal matchup. Bounce pass goes down low. Back out front. In the corner, this is Glenn. Sends it back inside for Penke. And the ball is tapped out of bounds by Grace Christian. Pressure defense down low. Penke and Yonker have really battled it out. Plus Arnold down there taking his turns as well. Lob goes in top of the key. Nice pump fake. Step in. Long two on the way. Won't fall for Cortland Martin. It was a good look, but he couldn't get the shot to fall. Rebound comes down to the Rams. Where the basketball is Ledford. Ledford hands off for Gettelfinger. Back to Ledford. Top of the key. Had an open look, but passed it up. Gets it back to Gettelfinger, who drives the lane. Scoops, can't score. And pulling it down is Humboldt. With the rebound, of course, is Penke. Penke 9 points, now 6 rebounds. Humboldt not really in a big hurry right now, up by 1. Free throw line, good pump fake by Jones. Drives in, tries to hammer the dunk down again. This time he missed it. And good defense as well by Arnold. Fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That wasn't going to happen that time. 5:05 to play, fourth quarter. Arnold, a long two on the way out the front iron, but he has a silky smooth stroke. That shot wouldn't fall, and a whistle and a foul underneath is going to go against Grace Christian. Trying to pull down that board underneath. There were a lot of arms reaching around. Yonker called with a foul, the 6'8 junior. And 1-and-1 time for Humboldt as Martin goes to the free throw line. Martin attempting his first free throw. He has 8 points on 3 of 11 shooting. Free throw up and good. He's a three-point specialist. He's 2 of 7 from out there today. 4 rebounds, 1 assist. in 23 minutes for the Vikings. Second free throw, rims in and out as the senior splits the pair. 49-47, Humboldt on top by 2. Trying to get back to the state semifinals. First time since 2013. Pressure D in the backcourt, almost forced a steal. They get into the front court, driving inside. A whistle and a foul going to be called against Humboldt. About a foul on each possession, it seems like, lately. And it'll go actually the other way. So a foul away from the basketball. No, it actually is going to go against Humboldt. All the rest of the Grace Christian Rams walking the other way, but it is going to go against the Humboldt Vikings. And at the line, shooting 2 is Ledford, who makes the first. Foul was on Bennett. And Bennett for Humboldt, that was his second. They're in the double bonus now. 10 team fouls against Humboldt, 8 against Grace as Ledford makes both free throws. And he now has 19 points in the ballgame. 49-49, we are tied. Long 3 by Walker, hits the side of the backboard. Rebound put back by Bennett's no good. Third chance, layup good by Justin Penke as he cleans up the boards again. Offensive rebound. That was the 15th for Humboldt. And second chance points, that was their 11th. 51-49, Humboldt back up by 2 as we hit the halfway mark of this fourth quarter. Gettelfinger lobs to the baseline, dribbling in, shot good, counted, and the foul for Ledford. He's got 21 points now, and he ties the game at 51. And now Grace Christian with a chance to go back on top for the first time since the first half. Grace outscored Humboldt 16-10 in the first quarter. Humboldt charged back, outscored Grace by 8 in the second. Humboldt won the third quarter by 3 points, 17-14, and Grace so far outscoring Humboldt by 5 here in the fourth quarter. The free throw won't fall for Ledford. He's now 7 of 10 at the line. And we are still tied 51-51. Here's Martin. Long, awkward shot from the left to Art is good. Somehow it falls for Cortland Martin. And it gives Humboldt back the lead 53-51. He was falling away, but he got the shot to fall. 3:30 to go. Ledford comes back to get it. He has been a one-man wrecking crew for Grace Christian today. Tries the baseline. Wide open Gettelfinger in the corner for 3. It's good! And Grace leads by 1, 54-53. On top for the first time in the second half. Walker yo-yo dribbles. Top of the key, drives in the paint, scoops, can't score. Offensive rebound again, of course, underneath by Douglas. His shot won't fall. This time it's controlled by Yonker. So another offensive rebound, but finally Yonker pulls it down with his 5th rebound. Here's a near steal up top by Walker, but a whistle and a foul called on the 5'7" senior. And we'll have more free throws being shot. Heading to the line will be Gettelfinger, who's already 4 of 6 from the line in this ballgame. 13 points. Grace will shoot their 24th and 25th free throws of the ballgame. 17 of 23 so far. The free throw up, no good. 17 of 24. Humboldt is 6 for 11 at the line. Coming out of the ball game is Bennett for Humboldt. Checking back into the ball game is Carlton Childs, the three-point specialist. Second free throw, good. Grace by 2, 55-53. As we're under 3 minutes to play in the ball game. Pass right side goes to Martin. Martin dribbles to the free throw line. Floater off the front iron, no good. Got his own miss, and he taps it back up and in. Martin with the second chance point. Ties the game up at 55 apiece. And now a timeout going to be called by Grace Christian. 2:27 to play. Grace 55. Humboldt 55, and it is a full timeout.
Catering.
2:27 to play in the fourth quarter. Grace and Humboldt are knotted up at 55 apiece. Grace with the basketball. They're in the white, Humboldt in the gold. Should be another dandy. First game was really back and forth until the final 3 minutes or so in Haywood County. As a backdoor pass goes underneath the Ledford. Ledford gets the layup to fall, and Grace back up by 2, 57-55. Lob pass far side. Humboldt shot up and underneath the bucket is good this time. Cleaning up the miss was Pankey. Again, and we're back tied at 57 apiece. He has 13 points, 8 rebounds. Turned it over 4 times. Here's a steal. Top of the key, driving the other way. Humboldt layup good by Carlton Childs. So he gets the steal, and he also puts Humboldt up by 2, 59-57 with 1:30 remaining. Grace Christian with the basketball. Spin, Gettelfinger looks underneath for Ledford. Somehow gets the basketball, and a reverse layup is good. And we're back tied at 59 apiece. 1:18 to play. Humboldt in no hurry. Top of the circle. Pass left wing. It goes to Cortland Martin. Back to the top of the key. Pump fake driving in. And a scoop shot is blocked underneath by Ledford, but heading to the line will be Justin Pankey, who will shoot 2 here in this tie ball game, 59-59. 1:02 remaining. So at the line, Anthony Jones. Shot up, rimming no. It wasn't Pankey that was fouled, it was Jones that was fouled. Jones, a 6'5" sophomore forward. He's going to be special. Missed the first free throw. Second on the way, off the back, no good. Missed them both. So we're still tied, 59-59, 1 minute to play. Grace Christian with the advantage now with the ball. Gettelfinger brings it across. Dribbles to the right arc. Hands it off for Andrews. Andrews weaves it off back to Gettelfinger. Top of the circle. Backdoor pass goes for Ledford. Drives in. Layup good. I don't know if that was all planned, but it worked pretty beautifully. And a timeout called by Grace Christian with 39.1 seconds remaining. Really seemed at some points of the second half like Humboldt was going to pull away, but Grace hung around. Now they lead by 2, 61-59 with 39.1 seconds remaining.
William Shea stage.
Can make is to buckle up. In 2015, seatbelt use in passenger vehicles saved nearly 14,000 lives. Remember, when you get behind the wheel, always wear your seatbelt. Click it or a ticket. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. 39.1 seconds remaining in this Class A quarterfinal. Grace Christian out of Knoxville leads Humboldt from West Tennessee 61-59. Humboldt with the basketball. Dribbling down, this is Walker. Walker at the top of the key. Bounce pass goes down low. Stolen by Yonker of Grace Christian. Looking for help. And he finds it. Andrews. Skip pass over to the far side. Dribbling across Gettelfinger. Gives back to Andrews. Andrews gives right side. Arnold looking across the paint. Ball deflected out of bounds. And it will stay with Grace Christian with 18 seconds remaining. The Rams lead it by 2 with the basketball here. Humboldt in their 31-1 record on the line. Grace Christian trying to be called by many across the state as an upset here. And a timeout called by Grace. So 61-59, 18 seconds remaining. Back with more right after this.
The final
27-8 on the season. They lost to Harriman in the region championship. They went on the road and won at Hampton 64-63 to get here. Now they're trying to upset Humboldt in the first round. Bounce pass comes into Andrews. Humboldt, you would think, needs to foul. They're trying to. Ball goes underneath for Yonker. They're dribbling away. Ledford trying to be fouled, and he's finally fouled with 9 seconds. Finally, he is fouled by Justin Pankey. They let 9 seconds go off the clock before they committed a foul, and not only did it take 9 seconds, but the best free throw shooter for Grace Christian is going to the line. That's Ledford. Ledford has 27 points on 10 of 12 shooting. He's 7 of 10 from the line, and he missed the first free throw. At the line for Grace, 18 of 26 now at 69%. Ledford with one more. Free throw is good. So Grace up by 3, 9 seconds. Here comes Humboldt down the floor. Will they choose to foul? Right side, Walker. Walker near side, Childs for 3 in the tie. No, off the front iron. They chase down the rebound far side. Humboldt. Bench Childs goes crashing into. Only after that loose ball with 0.9 seconds remaining on the clock. It'll be Grace Christian basketball, last touched by Humboldt with 0.9 left. So Grace leads it 62-59. I hope everybody's okay over there. Childs went crashing through the bench. They pass it into front court. Clock run out. Gettelfinger tosses it up in the air, and Grace Christian knocks off Humboldt 62-59. Humboldt's 18-game winning streak comes to an end, and Grace Christian improves to 28-8. They advance to the state semifinals, where they will meet the winner of our next game, Clay County and Loretto. Humboldt and Coach Ron Abernathy, his club finishes the season 31-2. Coverage from the Murphy Center continues right after this 2-minute break from our local stations on the TSSAA network.